Hello, and welcome back to Universal Love Law. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. We're going to talk about transmutation, but ultimately we have our own individual journeys. And this video is more so for those who have traumas in their life, who have experienced a lot of burning bridges with people, not due to you because you're just such a bad person, right? Or if you were someone who was very naive at a point in time of your life, and you didn't realize the cycles or the reoccurring events that would cause you to lose people around you or fall out with people around you. This video is more so for you guys. So, a lot of the times we go through these experiences in life, right? That we label a hardship or something that changed our lives forever. Especially when it comes to not having the same people in our worlds. Sometimes we don't let go of the people that are no longer serving us, and it causes us to stay stagnant. But that's not what we should be doing. In fact, we should be letting go of those who are not good for us or damaging our reputations or damaging our minds. Think of that person that we know we should not even be around or associate ourselves with, but we're hanging out with them still. It's a very childish way to go about life. I feel like on our individual journeys, we learn to grow out of that childish way of life and to not feel so hard on ourselves about, you know, letting people go or moving forward. We don't want to be a victimized person. Like, this happened to me and this is why I had to leave this person or let this person go, or this person kept hurting me and things of that nature. We need to always transmute the role that we played in the act of letting someone go, because the role that we play or the story we tell ourselves is the way we will move forward into a new relationship with other people. And so it's really important for us to know that when we say things like, I had to let that person go because that person was no longer serving me, that person was hurting me, and all of those things. When we choose a vocabulary, we're creating spells. All of everything that we say is a spell. If all is mental and everything is created in the mind, what do you think we're thinking and speaking? We're manifesting our worlds. And people find themselves in a negative downward spiral because of the friendships they entertain, the negative cycles that they indulge in from time to time, or very, very, very often. And so it's very, very important for people to know that we all have a very important role as far as our dignity goes, as far as our growth and our elevation in life, in our spiritual journeys, and our personal journeys, and all of those things, right? So yeah, this goes into understanding how to incorporate our shadow side into our lives, to where we're no longer victims and we're more very strong, assertive people who are master magicians within ourselves. We're able to, excuse me, understand, like, open our eyes and really understand these terms in spirituality, like, alchemy and things like that. We're able to turn these forms of vernacular into a way of life, to where we're ordering our steps with our words. Like they say in church, right? The Christian folk, they say, order my steps in your word. what we do when we start to take account of our word, or accountability for our actions, and the people and places that we would encounter that causes to go on these downward spirals, negative spirals, reoccurring events, series of unfortunate events that are constant, right? We're not taking charge of our life. We're always blaming another one for our hardships. When we learn to detach from, when we learn to detach from people that are no longer, needed in our way of life or in our journey, with the utmost appreciation for their lessons that they brought forth. When we add meaning and value to every experience that has happened in our life, and I'm looking at the number 3 because I'm working with the 3 energy, which is friendships more so, right? And associates, right? I feel like we learn to take charge of our life when we really adjust the narrative that we tell ourselves. The narrative is the way, we explain or have a self-talk about that situation that led us to losing something or losing someone, or someone hurting us, or we falling out with another person. So yeah, as we evolve, as we grow in life, we must, to become very strong, powerful beings and powerful spiritualists and people who are very consciously aware. It doesn't matter about how you look. Like, a lot of people are very fascinated with this whole trends of, like, you know natural hair and all this other stuff, but that doesn't make you more powerful than the next. If anything, there are a lot of people who are very, very low vibrational, or very in a very intermediate, or a very basic part of learning and understanding knowledge, a beginning elementary level of knowledge, and they could be deemed someone so consciously aware because of the people they listen to, but they don't formulate their own mind ideas on life and spirituality. They don't have their own form of creation within their mind. They follow others, but they're labeled someone spiritually conscious and aware because they have natural hair and they eat no meat and all those things. No, that doesn't make you more aware than any other person. So I just gotta let people know that, because that's not, a good way to go about judging others. In fact, it puts you on a very low vibration of duality, which is a more fourth dimensional way of thinking. When you move into a higher dimension of thinking, you realize that those things don't make you. Trends in the outward appearance does not make you more aware or more knowledgeable than another person. In fact, a lot of the very conscious, aware people, you know, they like to what is the word I'm trying to say? Insinuate their beauty, add to them, and there is no judge. It should be no judgment. Now, like, there should be no judgment, but I don't want to go down that route. But anyways, when we move into understanding the the lives that we chose before we even came here, we did not have everyone written out in our plan, in our evolution, in our growth, and there's so many paths that we could have gone down. But the way we're moving now, there's no way our guides, our angels, are going to allow us to make the same mistake over and over again, unless we want to, and we're not, allowing our angels and guides to come in and help us. But if people are becoming more aware, consciously, spiritually, about themselves and about their purpose here. Where those people have power of the tongue. They're sharp mentally, and they're able to accurately utilize their vernacular verbiage, the words, to create a life for themselves that is predicated on their minds and their thoughts. And whatever that their thought and belief systems are is what creates them to be the person that they are. And we become leaders of our own lives, leaders of our own tribes, when we are able to accurately use the words that order our lives. One needs to take out victimhood mentality out of their minds, their third eye. When you're in a moment, in a situation, you need to always be aware of the now. And it's so important for people to not be like, I know everything. So you can't get one up on me. No. That's suspicious. That brings forth a whole nother energy. It's more about just enjoying your life, not looking for people to wrong you so that you can show them that you're very consciously aware and you don't need them and all those things. But more so, being grounded in yourself enough to know that you lead your life and you're a natural leader. When we are grounded within ourselves, I'm looking at the number 4 energy now. Okay, it's very important for us to be aware of the numerology and things as well, because 4 represents stability. It's the foundation. So now we're moving into understanding the minds, the foundation that we lay in our minds brick by brick that creates the awareness, the self-awareness, the consciousness that we have over our lives, over our children's lives. We must take this very, very, very serious. We must break the chains of vulnerability in a sense where we're victims. We must honor vulnerability more so as a feminine energy. An energy to go within and be aware of our innermost sacred aspects of ourselves. We must be private and have boundaries. We must be aware of ourselves, our choices and actions, the people that we hang around. Do you find yourself transforming and changing when you're around people? Yeah, that's a natural fact, right? But the more we mature within ourselves, we're able to grow. In astrology, there's these 12 areas of life here, 12 houses, right? And people may trigger one of your houses because their sun sign might be whatever is in one of your houses. So let's say you have a 5th house in Leo. A Leo sun sign would activate that 5th house area for you. So you could always be one way, right? You could probably be a Virgo, very down to earth, quiet. But this person comes around and brings out this energy you never knew. That's the astrology term, right? We respond to people based on their vibration and energy in a spiritual language. We respond to the alchemy, the energy that one possesses. I can feel your self-talk when I come in your presence. When I see your actions and reactions, the way you communicate with me, I know that that is the way you communicate with yourself. The way we see a powerful person is if we see the way they communicate with us, because we know that's how they communicate with themselves. We strong people, we don't agree with whatever another person is saying, but we don't disrespectfully disagree and jump into that duality energy, right? We don't do that. We see a person for where they are in their journey and their path, and we may drop little nuggets of information to them, a little bit of knowledge for them. I feel like 2021 people have to grow. 2022, just so on and so forth. Whenever a person is watching this video and they're on that level where they can comprehend the information and internalize it, we must add value to our life. We must add meaning to our life. We must become more strong mentally people. So that goes back to how we transmute the experiences. How do we transmute the experiences? By creating anew. Okay, like for example, I've fallen out with people, right? There must be healing that takes place. I've fallen out with people very, very close to me. People that I truly, truly love. I truly love them on their individual journeys, but I see that our energies no longer are helpful towards one another. I could go on a negative route and say, I always knew that I wasn't going to be a part of their lives. And I can self-talk and create a world that exists only in my mind, that that other person doesn't understand how I could even have created it. And that's fine. It's my choice. We have free will, right? We have free will in life. Yeah. Or I can recreate the energy. Now we're talking about 5. Number 5. 5 is creativity. It's the house of expression. We can transmute the memory. We can ascend on our own conscious awareness of what happened. We could redefine it and put it into a new paradox. In a paradigm that the person on the opposite end doesn't realize that we have done that for ourselves. What we do is we create healing for ourselves when we do that. We create healing for ourselves. When we are able to see the situation that may have caused a burning of a bridge with another, or falling out with another, or losing of a friendship, a losing of a partnership, a familyship, relationship, right? Going from one place to another. Once we're able to ascend from knowing that that is not the end all be all. Once we're able to create a new way in how the story unfolded, take a victim mentality out of the order in which we experienced that experience with that person. We can take the entire victimhood out of it. This person could have physically assaulted us, verbally assaulted us, did whatever they have done emotionally, physically, to hurt us or harm us. And we can look at it a different way. We can look at it by defining that person's actions with logic. We have to bring forth logic and spirituality together to have an overall knowing and understanding of life. To be able to incorporate our shadow aspect of ourselves versus being a victim. Being a victim. You see? So like, okay, we have a person in a situation that maybe that person didn't respond in the best way that they possibly could have. That caused, or maybe they have done things that we feel like we no longer need in our life, or we no longer approve of that behavior. What happens is, over time we begin to think that we begin to create belief systems of ourselves and how we value ourselves, and we say things like, I'll never have friends, or we need to get the victimhood out of all of our aspect of knowing, existing, and being. We need to transmute that energy into an awareness that Everyone is not supposed to be a part of our journey throughout the entire journey. We will all meet again. That's when we understand that we're all collectively one. We will reconnect and be together again. I see the people that that are no longer in my journey with me, not lost, but they're no longer in my journey with me. I see them as people who are need a different set of illusion and experiences that I will not help them fulfill. So I am attracting the ones that are ready for those experiences that I desire, because I understand a universal law that like attracts like. I understand universal laws, so I am able to understand how to transform the way I feel about myself every day and transform my life. I don't no longer look at the people and the old me as like, I'm not proud of that. I'm proud of every step I have taken in life. Or if I'm not proud, I don't regret it. I know it was a part of the journey. Those people that are no longer there, they're in another part of their journey. I'm sorry, I got a little bruise here. I've been working. I got a second job so that I can get some things together. And I work I'm a teacher during the day, but I work in a warehouse. And boy, I'm telling you, so that kind of goes. So yeah, I got a little bruise here, picking up, lifting boxes and all those things. So. But I work with people that I never thought I would work with. I'm used to certain type of people based on the work that I do. But I'm not judgmental. I understand all people. I strive to be wholehearted and just go with the energies that I feel in my intuition and my gut, and not just judge a person based off of their lifestyle, behavior, and choices, but understand and weigh out their vices and virtue as they speak to me. People that I've been meeting, some of them are so different than me, and we've developed friendships in this night shift that I have. We've developed acquaintances ship. And we basically share ideas, and I don't change myself to be on their level, because I understand the power of that. I understand the power of influencing another person. There's a manipulation going on if I'm changing my personality around everybody that I get around to fit theirs. There's a manipulation in that. And so I don't do that. I come as I am. I order my steps with my words. I take the power back from someone else or someone in the sky doing that for me. I order my steps and my words. And if I need a little guidance, I ask my guides and my angels. They never let me down. We've developed a relationship over time. So they love me and I love them too. So yeah, I ask them to order my steps. I ask for help in getting or staying on track and being in tune with my intuition. I don't transform or change who I am to fit another person's personality. I'm not a victim. I'm no longer a victim. I once was. Maybe we'll have a story time about the extents that I would go to keep people in my life. I would put myself last, to put others first, to keep them. My greatest fear was losing people, all based on childhood trauma, all based on neglect and not having those parental figures in my life to give me love and help me to have self-esteem. And I'm understanding of that not in a victim place, like as if I'm upset or angry with them. If a parent doesn't no longer serve me, I allow them to live their life and journey. If a parent does, then I love them, and I allow them in my world. No love lost to either one, because I wouldn't be here without them. But when a person becomes strong and powerful spiritually, and they're able to manifest the life they desire, you have to understand everything is in the mind. All is mental is a hermetic law. I have a video on the hermetic laws. One of my little voiceovers. I love to do those. I love to speak with power in my voice. But yeah, so yeah, as we evolve and grow, we're able to be more consciously aware of ourselves and the role that we play in our future, based on the words that we use to describe a moment's time in the quote unquote loss of a person, loss of a relationship, loss of a friendship. It's only a transformation of life. That is what we call a death process, of a tower moment in tarot. In tarot. That's all it is. That's all life is, really. When we understand there's always transformation. Some people have transformations more often than others. Some people have been dealing with the same people their whole entire life and never evolved into another awareness consciously, and they don't want to. Nobody is. This is where the saying goes, don't try to force your beliefs on others. That's not what we do. We shouldn't force our beliefs on anyone. If you walk it and you talk it, you're gonna attract it, because like attracts like. Like attracts like. And if you're evolving, you're gonna realize and notice that the relationships that you have, they're not the same anymore. It could have been your ace, boom, coon. It could have been your left hand, your best friend, your closest or close, your siblings. It could be anyone. And as you ascend into your destiny that you're choosing, your free will, you're gonna find yourself moving into another space, time, reality, that other people cannot exist in that, because they're not consciously aware. I can tell you one thing, and 5 people on my channel can take and perceive the information totally different. One could be a victim. One could attack me, antagonize me for the things that I said. One could look for one detail that I said and correct me. Another can agree wholeheartedly with everything I say and be on the exact frequency as me. And the other one can be just blah. I'm here, but how did I even find this person? Maybe my video is a stepping stool into them finding other people that talk about the same things. Have that same awareness and consciousness in their own lives. Yeah, so I hope that everyone watching this video today is able to read between the lines of what I'm saying. Don't take anything I say as literal. Formulate your own belief system so you can be a leader. We have to become strong individually. We have to be individuals first. We have to evolve in that, and knowing that we are here to do a job, and we're here to fulfill a purpose. And if someone is no longer serving us, they must go. It's not nothing to feel sad about. Let's get rid of those unneeded emotions. Think of the age of Aquarius. Aquarius doesn't dibble and dabble in emotion. No, it's logical. It's intelligent. It's utilizing the masculine and feminine energy, the gut and the mind, the intuition and the logic reasoning, incorporating it so it can just be what it is. No pain, no hurt, anything associated with that. Because when you're a conscious creator, when you're consciously aware, you know that you can utilize alchemy, you can utilize universal laws, you can utilize everything you need to create the life that you desire. You get out of that victimhood mentality. You are able to incorporate those old aspects, those shadow aspects, so you can become aware of the person you are. Becoming each day the person that you are. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning into Universal Love. Love. Peace.